The gang is Sudbury bound. See the sights and have a good look around. It's a YEWniversal tour, and one thing's for sure, this place is our kind of town.
That fresh produce stand there, that's a beauty.
What do you listen to?
My favorite murder podcast.
Taggart and Torrance podcast.
The produce stand.
Fucking sexy.
It's Sunday, and Sunday is for picking stones. That means we are once again hanging out at the Produce Stand, a podcast paying tribute to everything in the universe. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts with Letter Kenny out there, but this one's recording from the goddamn farmhouse kitchen, so fuck you all. All due respect to the other Letter Kenny podcast. This is fucking crazy what we're doing here today.
I think we win by proximity.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just proximity. Anyway, I'm Al, your host, and joining me, as always, but in the kitchen, is the lovely Tanya and squirrely Matt, the lovely Linda, and V for Victor. How are you doing tonight? Anyway, you can all speak now.
Fucking fantastic,
Apparently,
man.
we're speechless.
We've been waiting for him to start this show for like 20 minutes. This is
all right. Should I play the unicorn sound bite off the top here?
Do it. Just do it.
All right, there we go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wait.
Oh my god.
I regret nothing.
This is a shot of the other camera angle here. I'm trying to be fancy here, but I'm not going to be able to switch too quickly. But here we have myself and Matt sitting in his
barn clothes.
In his barn clothes. I can't believe you did that. So we walk onto the set. He's like, "Is that Derry's onesie?" It's not. But
Yeah, I've been told that I have to be. This is not the actual sky. I guess it's the backup set.
It's
design.
not backup, it's dressing.
Dressing, whatever.
It's just set dressing.
It's set dressing.
It's not
but
meant to be worn.
It doesn't smell like barn clothes either, so it's quite delightful to be in. And it's a little cold because it's actually a hockey arena we're in. So I'm in it. I'm in it to win it right now.
I'm not cold at all. I'm quite warm actually. It's been a whirlwind trying to set up here. Yeah, guys, I'm now showing Tanya, Linda, and Victor in the camera here, and Tanya's recording from her phone. Here we are. We're in Sudbury. Actually, we're in Capriol.
Capriol, yeah.
No, we're in Hammer.
We're at the Capriol Arena,
right
outside of.
Can we give the location? I'm sorry. Wait, pause.
It's a lease thing. Yeah, it's a public arena that they've leased out. But it's wild that we're here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I mean, we've been sharing out a bunch of stuff on Twitter. And on Instagram, all the pictures and videos we've taken so far. Nothing from today yet, but I will be posting that soon because before we were here, we were actually at the farm, and that was pretty cool. What did you think, Victor?
I'm just happy Tanya got out of there alive.
Oh my gosh.
Explain.
That dog there's a farm dog.
Don't give the name away just in case.
Just dog.
He's in witness protection.
I've given him the title dog.
It was not Gus, but it was another puppers.
And he was growly, and he was he had his ears back.
He was
like
so
he was
cute.
in protection.
He's a good boy.
He was in protection mode, and I was like, shit.
Yeah, you guys are all like backing off. I'm like, here, buddy. He didn't
We were
come.
told that he was an ankle biter, and Al's got shorts on today, so that was a little. We decided the way to be was just stay in our pack, and the dog wouldn't be able to pick off one of us. Oh my! So I think he sensed my fear, and he enjoyed smelling me.
Yeah, it was pretty cool though, walking around and checking out. I mean, we got some great shots in the the tractor shed, I guess, and in front of the barn,
hangar and everything. It was so surreal. I mean, we're arriving in the distance, you could see sort of the roof of the farmhouse, and you're like, there it is, and then you come around, like, there's the laneway, there it is, and then as you walk on, it's like it really is a shooting dream though. Like we were talking, so I don't know if I say their names, but Craig and Kara from the crew
from the production
have been wildly generous with their time today. Thank you so much, and of course Jared for allowing this all to happen. But they met us at the farmhouse and gave us a little walk around. But it's so surreal, and we were talking a bit about what a dream it is because it's such a great property. There's so many different locations, and they all get leveraged in the show at one point or another. And then of course the family, we gave a wave to the gentleman who lived there, but very nice to let us on set. So it's just yeah, just so surreal. Like I think Victor, you've said it. It's like stepping onto a TV show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, we literally did.
Yeah.
And even though it was covered up,
I-
something about it was there.
I
The
know.
produce stand was there.
Yeah.
They had already had it wrapped up for because they I think they shoot those scenes early on in their shooting schedule. So, but it was just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I was, I was so
and
tempted.
I'll share the fun. I was laughing as him and Tanya stood in front of a tarped piece of something and took a photo.
But the wheel's there. It's no.
The
it's,
wheel
it's,
was there.
Yeah, the wheel was showing.
And it was
It's the mythology.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly smaller than what you would expect it to be.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
That's what
that's
she said.
it? Like it was like a tiny little trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then this room, the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
it is so much bigger than what I expected it to be. I don't know, like the wall behind Matt it's further than what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right now,
So this room was
it's a little
bigger.
messy because they've obviously they're done shooting and they're kind of putting everything away for until the next time they shoot, I guess. But we had a great tour of Shoresy's dressing room,
the
the
locker
locker room
room.
area, the
Nat's office.
Nat's office, yeah, and we went into Stuart's basement, and
It's
that was
so epic. It's as epic as it looks on the show.
Yeah.
It wasn't fully dressed. I was missing the table with
Yeah.
the fake cocaine and all that shit. But the DJ booth was there. The couches were
Train
there.
set was not there.
Train set was not there. That's
Yeah.
right.
poor Victor.
But Victor got very sentimental. He's like, "Is this where they broke the guitar?"
He did. He did.
He got that's what he asked. And then we heard that it was only a few years ago that they moved the set here. So he's trying to trace it back. And what was your final decision? Was it here or was it at the actual basement?
I think it was at the actual basement.
Okay, so this is
So
not
this
the grave
place has
site
not
of
been-
that guitar.
Yeah.
Not been tarnished. Has no bad juju. Now, Linda, I mean, you're not on the podcast, but you've been with us the whole weekend. And I know, I mean, you've watched some of Letterkenny, but you kind of stopped after a while. And,
I watched some of it, and
Yeah.
I kind of stopped after around season 3, but I do catch them now and again when
Yeah.
Victor's watching them. So I'm still, remember a lot of the scenes, and
Yeah.
I still have my favorites and all that.
all right, what are some of your favorites?
Well, one of my favorites is, I don't know if there's only one Christmas episode, but it's
Yeah.
a Christmas episode
Yeah,
there's
only one.
where Wayne is
Yeah.
giving
And he's
presents,
sitting in that chair
and he's
just
sitting
around
in
the
that
corner.
chair.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
right around it. And my favorite gift is that he gives Stuart a bottle of vitamin D.
Such a specific memory. I love it.
Yeah. well done.
awesome.
What did you think of? I mean, we went round to different locations yesterday, and you were our camera person. You took all
Thank
the
you so much,
pictures
Linda,
and
by
stuff.
the way.
Yes, thank you.
I'm a
Oh,
resident
yes.
photographer all weekend.
My pleasure. I was happy to be part of it, but it was, as we were saying, it's like being in New York, where you
Yeah.
feel like deja vu everywhere you go, and all the
Right.
buildings. You feel like, oh, I know this place from a movie. I can't
Yeah.
recall which one though.
Yeah.
And the same thing being here in Sudbury and just seeing all the landmarks and saying, oh, I know that the dog house,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
and just the various places.
Yeah, we had drinks at the Doghouse last night, where
Yeah.
Shorzy and Laura Moore, where we first meet Laura Moore.
Yeah, yeah.
We had a really nice dinner with our one of our favorite listeners, Michelle.
Yeah.
At Alexandria's, I think.
Alexandria's,
it was
yeah.
called. Yeah, it was a good.
They said it was Mediterranean. I didn't see. I mean, it was fine. I didn't see a lot of Mediterranean specific on the menu.
No,
but
Yeah,
no.
there's
it
a lot
was-
of pasta and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of It was fine.
Yeah, it
though.
was really good.
But it was cool that our server.
Oh yes,
There was kind of a funny story there. So our waitress Stephanie, lovely girl, we're going on, and she at one point we got talking what we were doing here, and I said, yeah, we're doing a tour for Letterkenny and Shorzy, and she kind of made it. She never really watched the show, but she's like, but I'm on the show, and we said, what do you mean? She's like, well, my arm is, and then she went quiet and said she didn't want to tell us about it because her family's embarrassed, and then she left, and of course we couldn't let that go by, and then so. Which scene is your arm in? And we think what she describes, I can't remember which episode it was, but where Gail's
I'm pretty sure,
explaining
yeah.
her interaction with Dickskin, and she does sort of the arm lock move in the
Yeah,
background.
everyone in the background are talking about how large Dickens' unit is.
Yeah, and she's stroking her
and
arm
she's
in the
stroking her
background.
arm in the background. So if you remember that scene, look at that scene. The woman who's doing this.
Yeah.
Those who are watching the video of this. That's Stephanie, and right now she's a waitress over at Alexandria's.
Yeah.
But she says she's got some plans to do other stuff. But yeah.
But she said she had a blast
Yeah.
being a part of it, and I mean, we really get that vibe around Sudbury. Anyone who talked about it, who obviously is aware, which is most people, there's a real good vibe in the town around Letterkenny and what people's involvement are in different degrees. Even at our hotel, right? Where we stayed at the Radisson and some of the staff there, like, oh, they saw me wearing the Shoresy shirt and were asking, oh, are you guys still shooting? I said, no, we're not part of the show. We're just doing a podcast tour and this, but they were very excited. Like, yeah, we've met members. They're so wonderful. They couldn't talk highly enough about the crew and cast of the Letterkenny and Shoresy production teams. So that was nice to hear as well.
So let's rewind a bit, because how did we get here? When did we get here? Because,
we fast tracked a lot there.
we skipped over a lot of stuff just because it's so exciting to be where we are right now. But Matt, you said you just recently listened to episode 0, and I'm going to put it at the beginning of this podcast, the clip where Tanya says what she's, you know what, actually, let me just play the clip right now because I've got it queued up right here. Hold on a second.
So it's
here.
episode 0, the production meeting episode.
Yeah, this is Tanya in episode.
Maybe we'll convince you that it's not a good
But by the end of this, I want to take this podcast on the road up to Sudbury, and we can all 4 of us do the Letterkenny tour after all the social distancing is done. What do you guys think?
Okay, I said yes to the YouTube to the podcast. I'm not sure I'm taking a trip for the Letterkenny road trip. No, I'm not sure about that.
So we'll just say Tanya was firmly on the undecided side of
this is the most extreme version of foreshadowing you've ever seen in media production.
It was perfect. So, because back then, who knew what this was going to turn into? And I was just kind of dreaming out loud too. It's like, imagine if this could go on, and we can go on a trip to Sudbury and go, shoot some video or take some pictures or whatever at some of the places where they shoot the show. That'd be great. And Tanya's like, what, are you crazy? Why would we want to do that? Fast forward to this summer. I mean, you guys if you've been listening to the podcast, you've been hearing Tanya going, we need to go and record in Sudbury.
We're going to do this. Let's do this.
We're going to do this. We should record at Pepe Panini's, or we should do this, or we should do that. And finally I said, okay, you win.
Again, I'm a shitter, get off the pot. But you know what it is? It's you, Alan. Like, I have seen you interact with actors, and like through the summer, we've kind of bumped into people here or there, or had interviews, and you get so darn excited. Like, I have never seen you more giddy than when, like, even getting that cameo, the day one, the first cameo
with Tyler Johnston
that you received, and that made your entire year. Like, you were so
the one you gave
excited.
me for my birthday from Nathan Dale's.
And your birthday, yeah. And you got so excited. I'm like, this guy is just going to lose his mind if we go to Sudbury. And this was just bonus, right? Like, we didn't even know that we were going to be able to get into the studio and to be able to see the sets and stuff. So this was just icing on the cake, really.
Yeah. So to go back to that. So we had this trip planned. Anyway, we were like, in September, we're going to Sudbury. We're going to go check out, so everything we did yesterday was already planned. But I sent out an email to the production team, because they sent us that nice gift from Kiso with the champagne and stuff. And I said, hey, just so you know, we had no idea they were shooting this month here. We had no idea. They said, we're planning on late September coming up to Sudbury to, just to do a little bit of a Letterkenny tour. And they came back to us and said, oh, all right, well, let's see what we can do about getting you access to the studio and stuff. I'm like, what?
It was volunteered. Yeah, it was amazing.
They offered it to us, and they said, whatever you want to do, let us know, and we'll try to make it happen. Yeah. And when I got on the phone with Kara, she's I think production manager on the set, or on the shows. She said, all right, well, in the arena we have this set, we have that set, and I'm like, what do you want to do? I'm like, Can we record the podcast from the kitchen? She said, yeah, of course you can. What? I was just, so yeah. After that, we got so giddy. We couldn't wait to come. We almost didn't, because we had a bit of a COVID scare in the house. Thankfully that came up negative and everything was okay. But wow, it's been a whirlwind couple of days.
Yeah, it's been, and it's our timing. It's fine. I think our timing allowed us to do this, but they wrapped up the most recent season just 3 days ago. So majority of cast crew, everyone's gone. Which is fine. We got this acclimated. It would have been great to see a couple people if we had the opportunity. But
we did meet.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. But it was nice. Even when we arrived here in the studio today, Kara went out. Everybody said, "Oh, just so you know, Jared sends his best. You know, he wants you to know he's so happy that we're here and thrilled for us because we're just giddy as fuck. And so thankful that they've given us this opportunity to come and check this amazing studio.
Letterkenny.
Celebrate them some more. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Victor.
No, I was going to say and Shorzy.
And Shorzy.
Shorzy.
That's
Yes,
right. Yes,
for sure.
Got to remember that. And part of our plan was to go to Pitter Patter Panini, Pepe Panini yesterday.
Pepe Panini, yes.
I always mix those up. And so we went and really had a really good time. We tried the Pitter Patter Panini and it was excellent. I loved it. It was
actually very good.
Victor did
Some of
not.
us.
Yes, Victor did not. Forever the contrarian. Victor, what did you have?
I had the Venetian veggie.
Okay.
And there was a giant mural painting of Venice. So I feel like I did them a solid.
There was also a Drake poster. Not a poster. It was like a neon light. It was very cool. Actually, the vibe at Pepe Panini is really cool. I was quite impressed by the setup they have in there. And I know they've got the restaurant kind of dinner and then they do a nightclub kind of atmosphere. And I can see how that could work. They've got it set up very well.
Yeah. So we had planned to interview Jay and Julia yesterday. Unfortunately, schedule conflict happened and we couldn't, but he did come in for a visit. So we got to meet him in person and had a really great chat with him. And it was a lot of fun. We took some pictures with him and he has promised and committed that he and Julia will come on a Zoom interview soon. So, so stay tuned for that. It's still going to happen. Just couldn't make it work yesterday. I mean, he's got lots to do. He's a business owner. They just wrapped up Letterkenny. There's lots going on in his life. So we don't hold it against him.
For sure.
But we'll see him eventually. A very welcoming guy. It was very nice of him to come up, even in the scheduling conflict for him to swing by. He kind of caught us off guard. We were sitting at the table eating, and all of a sudden he's just standing beside us. Hey,
Michelle is still trying to collect her heart.
Yes,
before it's
true.
out.
Michelle was a little starstruck. It was really cute, and but yeah, he's a real presence, and he just was very generous in his time in those moments, and a great conversation.
Yeah, we had given up meeting him because he said, "Oh, I don't think we can come out for an interview right now." So I was like, "Oh well." But then he just showed up, and
he is such a presence, and so many great stories that we were off air with him, but that he shared with us, and oh my god, it was so lovely.
Absolutely, and I know hopefully we'll talk more about this when we do. But the one thing he said that made me really laugh was he's very self-aware that he has a look, right?
Yes.
Something that stands out, and he's like, it's no joke that I have a look that people recognize. And he's like, I've gone many places and just out of nowhere, someone will come running out of the water on the beach and like come up and grab me. And he's like, but he's very
pick
humble.
Him up and like spin him around. I'm like, oh my God, who would do that?
Right? Especially Tyson. Yeah. Who can do that to Tyson?
Even just like taking a picture with him, I'm like, I don't want to touch you, like your body. Cause I feel like I'd be like, that would be inappropriate. Right. Oh my!
But no, it was a real highlight of yesterday to have a chance to have a quick chat with him.
Yeah. And speaking of Michelle, Michelle, one of our listeners, she's been on the show before. She's the forensic expert,
Sudbury resident,
and she lives in Sudbury. So when we told her we were coming up here, we're coming up here, and we got to meet you in person since we're here. And so she came out, joined us, and we all went out for a nice dinner afterwards, and it was a great time. And then we went to the doghouse for some drinks.
Yes,
and so a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were playing video. We were doing videos of Shorzy in the doghouse and looking to see, what was different and what was changed about it. And at one point, the room went totally quiet, and it was like the other tables were listening to us, and we became very conscious of the nerds that we were.
Well, it didn't help that Victor was talking about Schrodinger's cat and something like.
Yeah, the guys behind us did not look very impressed by the conversation.
What the hell's going on here? I'm trying to watch a hockey game, and there's a guy giving a lecture on particle physics.
No, quantum
physics, whatever.
Well, there's a relationship between particle physics and quantum physics.
Is the cat dead or isn't the cat dead?
Yeah.
That's all I took from it.
That's
I don't know, though. I don't know. That's the point.
And
that's the point.
That all came up because we almost lost Victor this week.
Oh, yes, we did almost lose Victor.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, we need to tell that story.
Oh, my God.
Do we need to relive it?
I'm gonna.
We were
yeah.
at the original arena, Letterkenny Irish Arena, I think.
The Egg Hall was
The Egg Hall. Yeah.
Oh no, it was at the Egg Hall. That's
Yeah.
right. So
right outside where they first meet Dickens.
yeah, and it was actually a really busy place. Lots of cars there, and there's lots of stuff happening. It was a Saturday, so there's hockey happening in the arena, and there's like two or three baseball diamonds outside, and they all had a game going. So it was a very happening, busy place. And we're walking back from the field to get to our cars. I'm walking ahead of everyone, and all I hear is, "Heads up, heads up."
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
heard
"What?"
a crack of the bat.
You hear
too.
the crack, and someone hit a wild foul ball, and I was in front of it because I remember from my angle, I heard them yelling. I'm like, what? And then I look up and I see this big green softball coming straight at Victor, and I don't even have time to react, and it missed him, I swear, by like a foot and hit the ground beside. It was, and the thing bounced across. I'm like, that was a scary ass moment.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nothing happened, but
It was a parking lot full of cars,
Yeah.
and I don't understand how that ball missed me or any of the cars, but
Yeah.
it was pretty incredible.
and that's how
Schrodinger's cat.
Schrodinger's cat came up, because then I went and picked up the ball, and as I was about to throw it back, they all immediately ridiculed me, assuming that I wouldn't be able to throw
we
the
just
ball.
said, don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah, they assumed I didn't know how to throw a baseball, which, for the record, I threw a perfect throw back.
It was okay.
It was right to the guy.
You're still recovering from it.
Well, my arm's a little sore, but it's not the point.
And your shoulder cracked. That
was the other
at
shoulder.
At the bar, your shoulder cracked, and then it brought on the
Listen.
whole.
Anyway, before you threw it, that ball was either going to be a bad throw or a
Yeah,
good throw.
So that's how the Schrodinger's cat came into play.
that's how
or some
particle
shit like that.
physics or
Quantum physics.
came into
Particle.
our.
You keep
Will I
on.
throw the ball or will I not throw the ball?
Because Al, you
no.
grabbed your phone right away, and you're like,
Well,
I got to videotape this.
I know. I
'cause
was
it's
fumbling with
either-
my phone because I want to video this because either going to be an awesome, epic throw or an epic
It's
fail.
not. It's not. Will you or will you not? It's will you fail or not?
Okay. Well, I succeeded, so the cat's alive.
You did. I didn't get the video, but there's no evidence of it. There's no proof.
I don't need to prove
So
shit.
it could be our word against yours. We could all like just get together and say,
Circumstantial.
Yeah.
And then the story goes, and then Matt threw it, and it hit a car, not because of the bat.
That's the real story right now. It was an excellent throw, for the record.
It was.
Gosh.
All right. Well, let's go around the table here and let's talk about the weekend. Victor, what was your? I don't know why I'm asking this.
Yeah,
but
no, let's do his rant
what's
first.
the highlight of your weekend?
There's actually lots of highlights,
Mm-hmm.
but I think chasing the train on a highway was
Yes.
was fun.
Pay attention to his phrase in there. Chasing the train.
If you don't follow us on Twitter, you should. There's a video of us on Twitter, and Victor's geeking out over this train. Knew the model of it and everything. Oh, it's a whatever model train. And
Yeah. Well, I think I was actually wrong. It was a GP38, but I think it was an AC 4400. So,
How dare you? You've now been excommunicated from the
Yeah,
train.
Josh is not going to be happy
but
with you.
you know, going 100K or whatever we were, it's hard to catch.
How
it,
fast
but
you thought we were going?
I don't know. I was looking at the
From the
train.
back of the van, it's all obscure.
It's all a blur.
It's all.
The back goes faster than the front, though.
So would you say because of that, like after that experience, you could have died happily?
Oh, no, it was-
because it's literally 10 minutes later you almost died.
You were
right.
genuinely like
was
so excited. You're like, this is the highlight.
Well, it wasn't just the train; it's the fact that there's a train crossing like every second light,
Everywhere.
and it's hard to kind of make any rhyme or reason out
Yeah,
of it
yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
like the trains just
All
go everywhere.
directions.
It's like Mexican train dominoes. If anyone's
Yeah.
played it,
Logistically, it doesn't make. I mean, we were talking
It
about this
doesn't.
last weekend. There are tracks going every which way through this town.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're not hitting each other.
yeah, and these are freight train tracks. It's not passenger trains, so
they are. They're everywhere. Like we were making a joke that we could definitely make a drinking game out of it. Like if as long as the driver wasn't involved.
I was going to say,
of
we
course.
would have been so drunk. Anyway, so that's the
But-
highlight is the
That's the
train. We're
highlight.
here for Letterkenny shit, and the highlight's the train.
I know, but the highlight, my second highlight is also not Letterkenny related, but I'm not going to say it because I feel like as you go around the table, somebody will bring up that story. So I'll pause.
All right, what about today? I mean, what did you think of the farm?
I mean, like Matt said, it's like stepping into a television show.
Yeah.
It's very surreal. And it's funny, right? Going to the farm is like seeing the outside, and then
Yeah.
coming here is seeing the inside.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just really, really out of body kind of experience. It's just very, very neat. I can't wait to go back and start watching these episodes
Right.
in a different way.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
It will be more personal. it will be more personal. I think I'll have a different connection to it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that for both Letterkenny and Shoresy.
Yeah. Linda, I mean, you're not as fervent a fan as maybe we are, but what did you think of the weekend? What's your highlight?
First, the whole weekend was amazing, but I have to say the highlight is being here right now in the kitchen around this table,
Right.
and being included in this podcast. It's very special for me. Thank you, guys.
course.
It's a wonderful experience. But also, I just find it that it's getting caught up in the fantasy of just being here, where
Yeah.
I have to go to the washroom and then I go over there to the washroom, but it's not
Not the
really a washroom.
Yeah.
Or I'm thinking, I'm going to go upstairs, see what's upstairs. There's no upstairs.
Yeah, there's no
It's
upstairs.
just the fantasy of
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Though curiously, in the Shoresy set bathroom, it did suspiciously smell of urine.
Very authentic.
It
feel like
was
maybe
very
the rap
authentic.
party might have gotten a little unhinged here with the crew. I don't know.
Yes.
Tan, before we ask you your highlight, kudos to you and your duotang, because you kind of you planned the whole weekend down to the itinerary is yours. Everything about this was
Thank
your
you.
doing.
Thank
Well
you.
Hard
done.
agree.
Yes.
Thank you.
What's been your highlight?
This is what I do. I'm a planner and I'm a mom. I totally mommed out on this. Like I
Oh,
had
she did, yes.
granola bars and water, and like I know that there's some sweet tooths in the room, so I had like some chocolates
Not
going
some
on.
chocolate. You had a whole fucking tub of M&Ms, like
M&Ms,
chocolate covered
chocolate.
M&Ms. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I would totally mommed this whole thing. I didn't have my kids here, so everybody became my children, I think, at this point. And oh my God, there's so many fun little moments that we have had and shared already on this trip. One of them was, I think, what you were thinking. We decided we were doing some Letterkenny stuff, and we were also doing some sightseeing Sudbury stuff. Sudbury, and we went over to Bell Park, and this is when you shouldn't listen always to Waze and the instructions it gives you to getting into
I don't
things.
think Waze had any take in this one.
Well, it said turn, and your location's on the right. So location on the right, and then we turned right, and then Linda was my co-pilot here, and we went in, and it was a weird kind of entrance, and we're like, oh, this is like the Canada's largest mural. And so we were, and I'm like, oh, there's the helicopter pad from the old. See, I'm gonna give him a seizure. Helicopter
Helipad.
helipad. It can be also called a helicopter pad. I like using the whole word.
Don't try to backpedal on this one.
So yeah, it quickly became apparent to us that we were no longer on a road that we should be driving on, or a path that we should be driving on. But we didn't really give up on that path until much further into the park, where we're like, there was no sign indicating cars, but there was a sign saying no bikes.
It's true.
But there was nothing saying no cars, and we just continued on, and until we had some.
Well, to be clear, you continued on. You were
Yeah.
driving.
We had some people.
Leave us out of this.
We had some people. I'm going to change my angle here. We had some
You know if you're
people.
recording the whole thing or not.
Oh, here, I'll just turn that one off. Yeah, we had some people walking along the path coming towards us, so we decided we should probably ask, is this something that opens up into a parking lot? And they're like, we feel that this is not a driving. And
So
we're
I
like,
don't feel this is right.
we don't feel this is right. So yeah, we did
But
some.
in their head, they were saying, "What are you, a fucking moron?
Yeah.
This is clearly a biking path. What are
Yeah.
you doing on
There
this?"
was a cyclist that I swear in Toronto would have given me the finger.
Oh, he would
but
have broken your
here-
side view mirror.
Yeah. But here he was like, just did a double check and then just laughed at me.
Yeah, I watched him very closely. He went through like multiple stages of emotional, where like it started with
The
anger, like he was
confusion.
gonna lose his mind, and then I think he recognized that we
Oh,
were lost,
we
and then it
just
went from
don't
like
even know.
annoyance to laughter. Like he went
Yeah.
through a whole cycle in that moment, and then
Like-
just waved us off and kept going.
Maybe this is a driving park.
And we're,
you know,
we're
Maybe you
pretty
can go
sure
through
about
with the
how
car.
what he thought about it, because on our way back, while we're walking, we did a little visualization. I think it was Victor who said, "Okay, we're walking now," and just the thought of somebody coming towards us in a van now seems so ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
seems so wrong.
Yeah, Yeah, so that was a fun little moment of, and then I had to pull like a mater where I had to like drive backwards out of the whole damn thing in order to get back around. So that was a fun little part. Oh my goodness, what was I going to say?
So that part of that tour was supposedly a non-Letterkenny part, but we later on found out that Bell Park is actually where the
relationships.
the soft date portion of relationships happen at
where
that park.
Glenn was serving ice cream.
to-
He was working at the ice cream truck.
So who knew?
Yeah.
We were there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so much fun. Oh, there's been so many funny moments. And then Matt and I, the whole champagne. So as our
Champagne
listeners,
Supernova.
as our listeners know, we were gifted a bottle of Dom Perignon from Jared. And we decided this would be the best place to crack it open. And we're in Sudbury, and we were in our hotel, but we didn't bring champagne glasses. I brought the bottle, but I forgot the glasses. And I was like, okay, the glasses would break if I brought anyways. So there was a dollar store, which is so sad. Like an expensive
let's just make
bottle.
that clear. We have a very expensive bottle of champagne, and now
Yeah.
we're contemplating the dollar store to get drinking.
Yeah.
Champagne flutes. Yeah.
Because there was glasses in the hotel, but those were like
Just
water
glasses. Yeah,
glasses.
they're just regular glasses.
And I
And
think
that
they were
didn't-
holding out on us because we did call the desk and say, "Hey, can you send up some even wine glasses?"
Yeah.
And they said no.
No.
Like I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
There's somewhere. You're lying.
So that was quite funny. Matt and I ran down to the dollar store and contemplated which glass would be appropriate for said
They were
bottle.
gone for a very long time.
said
It
bottle
was
of
a real
champagne.
mission. We had multiple in our hands, including plastic ones.
There's something you need to know about Tanya and the dollar store. See, we talk about the Produce and portal. To Tanya, any dollar store is
the portal. Sorry, go
is a
ahead.
time warp portal. She'll walk into a dollar store and be in there for an hour and not knowing. Like she'll come out going, "What? I was only a few minutes." I'm like, "You were in there for a fucking hour."
Yeah.
And how do you spend like
Yeah.
$150 at a dollar store?
But I can justify
true.
this visit. There was some serious
There was a lot of
contemplation
thinking
going
going
on.
on,
And
yeah.
ultimately, I mean, I feel good about our decision.
I do.
We ended up going with the most expensive options they had, which were
The
$4
dollar
champagne flutes. And we also, because of our situation, bought dish soap and a scrubby brush because we needed to clean said
we need to clean.
$4 flutes. But all that
my
it was
God.
a pretty
It
hilarious
was
moment.
yeah.
And I was in my flip flops.
Anyway. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was just so much fun. And just meeting Jay and Michelle and it's been so much fun. Just so much fun. And you guys being
So
here
fun.
and Linda being my co-pilot and Victor just losing his mind with the trains. It's just been so much. And even going even the there happened to be a market over at the community center when we
was
were
really a
taking
train
photo, which was it doubled as a train station. I'm like totally did that on purpose, like timed that out proper. And there was trains coming and going, and we lost Victor at one point, and it's like, oh, that's where he is. He's looking at the trains. So much fun.
All right, Matt, how about you? What's your
Man,
highlight so far?
It's just so fun. So the honest answer is you guys. That I mean, it's a full reality.
Aw.
No, it's a full reality. This is I have laughed so hard the last couple, like especially all the like. Oh my god, we have done nothing but laugh. And Al, you kept saying you wish you had a recorder on when we were.
Oh
in the
my
band and stuff.
God,
The conversations I
yeah.
wish we had captured. Just as if you think they're ridiculous sometimes on the show, take it up a level. They were okay, but
Just the conversation between you and your little new friend in the car.
oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Something's
the
wrong with their
car.
van. They need to get it checked out. It makes this weird, creepy knocking sound every time they turn it on, and it scared the shit out of me at least 4 times.
It's right beside
Right
you.
beside me in the back seat, you're this little. Every time you start
Like there's
the car,
a little child outside tapping on the window.
Victor's
I
crying.
see you. I see you in there.
That's
Tap,
the real
tap,
reason
tap,
he couldn't
tap,
sleep
tap.
last
Oh my
night.
god, it was amazing, man. That sound will haunt your nightmares forever.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
And I knew it was coming, and then I would watch you in the mirror to see because you're jumping at.
by about the 8th time, I got used to it, but it took me. There was a growth period there. But no, it's true. Like the time, like yesterday, yesterday, and that's funny, we're doing this tour and going to all these locations, and right now it's Sudbury, right? It's their locations, and we went to some of the older ones, and they're a little beaten up, to say less.
Oh, all that stuff from season 1 is, it's a part of Sudbury it's a little sad, actually,
Yeah,
to be there.
it is a little sad, and it's hard to sometimes, when you don't see all the stuff there, it's hard to see beyond it and realize this was it, right? So you kind of have to really put yourself in that fantasy, as you described it, and say, this is where it was, right? So we went to a whole bunch of things. So I had some struggles at a few of those yesterday. It was still cool to go around, but hanging to you guys was the best. And then Michelle, of course, and now today, you guys saw it. I got really giddy. So the farm was really cool, but as soon as I stepped into the arena, I did this little dance, and I've done it multiple times as I stepped into the various sets.
Oh, even now it's getting ready to record. You couldn't wait to start recording.
Oh my God.
Kind of annoying, actually.
It's okay. I'll take it, man. This is it's
The squirrely jig.
Yeah,
we're behind the cloth now, and you're seeing the sets, and just walking around, like the Shoresy thing was amazing. Into Stuart's basement, oh my gosh, Stuart, and now into the kitchen. I couldn't help. I'm looking at everything. I'm opening cupboard doors, and there's nothing there. Yeah. It's amazing. There's little.
There's actually no cupboard. It's just wood.
Yeah, they're just faced. There's nothing behind it, which makes sense. Why would you? There's no need for it. But the little details that you never see as we're walking around, like on the fridge, there's mom's pot roast recipe or something.
Roast. I took a picture. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, it looks pretty ridiculous, but I feel like we need to make it. There's to-do lists. There's a picture of the farm, which Karen Craig said they believe is the actual farm owners took the photo and they put it here. It's just the details that you don't take in the moment. Being able to have some time to walk around. Now I'm wearing a version of the barn
some
clothes.
of the stuff that's just kind of laying there, like the cross that Glenn used for the Easter episode, the pitter patter. The St. Patrick's Day. What was the Squirrely Dan? Oh man,
I'm blanking on that. But like
I can't help you. I
the
don't
big
know.
stand-up thing is there.
Of Squirrely Dan, like the St.
the
Patrick's
set.
Day.
So all of you who saw the tour, the produce stand set that they used is off in the corner, right behind one of the sets from where I'm sitting. I mean, you all these sets are set up in this hockey arena, but as you walk around the edge, there's like little glimpses of all the amazing moments that we've taken in through the season, and it's just very cool to absorb all that. So this to me, I mean, is a highlight. I'm super nerding out being in this space. Like I'm wearing his fucking barn clothes. Yeah. They're not even the real ones, but it's just I had to get into the moment, and I'm so happy and so thankful they let us do this.
I'll be stitching together a video of the whole weekend, so I'll have it all in one place and put it up on our YouTube channel. It might take a while, so please, folks, I've been really busy with work. Please be very patient, but as soon as I can, I will post a video because there's a lot of great stuff.
And Alan, what's been your highlight?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
You did us.
I mean, it's funny, the van, just being in the van with you guys. Again, I mean, it's not joking. I wish I'd set up a mic. I wish I had the forethought to set up a mic, because that would have been a whole episode on its own and probably the funniest shit we've ever recorded.
Oh my God.
It was between you and Victor at each other and Tanya. It just, it was just so much fun. But today, like driving up to the farm, was kind of surreal.
It was surreal. And it's such a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Like the sun is out, it's clear skies, it's nice, brisk feeling. It was the perfect setting to walk onto that property and take it in.
And we even took a photo at the back of the house, and where you can't. And Linda's like, "I can't see your face," and we're like, "Wait, no, we know."
That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah, that's the point.
We had to we had to like MacGyver it, and so we squatted down because we didn't have chairs.
Yeah, we didn't think ahead. But we thought ahead, but then we forgot to bring the chairs.
Some of us thought ahead.
Yes.
Yes.
But there is a picture with one of the authentic chairs.
Yes, that's right.
True.
Yes.
And of course, Victor was the one who got to sit in it. So that was probably Squirrely Dan's
He bowed to the mic, apparently. It was his reaction to that comment.
Yesterday's highlights, I think, were just, meeting Michelle, meeting Jay, just everything around. Like going to the locations were fun, and just kind of, driving around Sudbury. It's a very interesting city, to say the least. There's a lot of really great stuff to see,
a lot of character,
and a lot of character in this city. I feel like that. I mean, I've now with my other podcasts, I visit a lot of other Canadian towns and stuff. it's the same everywhere, right? So there's going to be a little bit of poverty, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but then there's also the really vibrant parts of the city.
There's
and
real pockets.
Yeah.
in
Well,
this
actually,
town.
when you guys came up, there
Yeah.
was a hockey game. Well, you couldn't find anyone.
Yeah, so streets were empty, and then we just came upon the community. What is it called? The community arena.
Yeah.
Sudbury
That's
Wolves, yeah.
Sudbury
Sudbury Wolves
Wolves,
Arena,
and everybody was there.
Yeah.
Like everybody, and it was the kids were, and they were having, I think, because of the reconciliation.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was on the
Yeah.
Friday.
Reconciliation.
No child left behind as well, and that's the
Every
slogan.
child matters.
Every child
Every
matters.
child
That's what it was. You know, they're all good. They're all good slogans.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was like a big. So half the people were wearing these orange shirts, and the other half were wearing Sudbury Wolves shirts, and it just looked like a great time.
There's a giant,
And there was a wolf head.
and a
inflatable wolf
giant
head, yeah.
inflatable wolf that was great fun for the kids to walk through. So
Yeah.
and some adults, and and a nice statue of Stompin' Tom as well.
Yeah,
so.
we took a
Yeah.
picture with Stompin'
very
Tom
cool.
Connors. The reason, to our American friends, why that's important is he wrote the song Sudbury Saturday Night. So if you want to check that out, it's country music. So if you like that kind of stuff, you might enjoy Stompin'.
It's not country music.
Well,
It's something
it is.
else. It's like
folk-
a separate
it's
category.
It's folk.
folk.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
Folk.
country folk.
Yeah.
Parody folk. Almost.
And he's a legend in Canada. So everyone knows Stompin' Tom. He's written so many
good
songs.
old hockey game.
Yeah, lots of songs, and it's all about Canadiana. So Stompin' Tom is definitely a legend.
And he actually stands on a wooden plank and he stomps on.
Yeah,
the
that's
plank.
why. Yeah, that's why they
did
call him
not know
Stompin' Tom.
that.
Yeah, well,
I did not know.
there you go. Now you know.
Now he's stomping Tom.
Yeah.
Before he was just Tom, but now he's stomping.
Yeah, just go watch any YouTube video of him and you'll see.
But
him
I probably would have
stomping.
noticed that unless I would have seen him stomping, but I wouldn't have realized he was standing on something to amplify it.
Yeah, but so Sudbury is a great town, like very charming, built on mining, so nickel and ore.
Yeah, we
I
saw
think,
the
and
mining
copper.
monument
Yeah.
at Bell Park. That was one of the reasons we went to Bell
So
Park,
fucking cool.
which
It
ended
was
up
really nice,
we've
yeah.
deemed the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you ever come to Sudbury, go to Bell Park, and there's what's the? Do you know what the statue's called? There's
It's
a
called
statue.
Mining Monument.
Yeah.
that's
Oh
what it's
yeah.
called.
Yeah. And it's a really cool looking statue of like two hands digging into the earth, but then on both sides of it, it tells a story of when the beginnings of mining to like where it's all like out in the country, and then in the end of the big city that's been built on mining and stuff. And it's really really well done. We
Yeah,
took
it's
some
pretty. The
pictures.
detail on it was
Yeah.
unreal, and
Beautiful.
it's funny because it took us a moment because it is like a circle,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't until like after sitting there looking for a few minutes we realized, oh, it's completely different on the other side.
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
you said, it's like one side is the past, one side is the present,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the evolution.
It's really cool.
It's just unreal. Very well done, and it's not a memorial; it's a monument. It's
Monument.
celebrating the mining history of the town.
Yeah. Then you have Science North, which I think is like a science center kind of thing. But then the other place we went to with the pumpkins, what was that one?
That was the Big Nickel.
the Big nickel. But
Yeah.
I forget what the name of the
Earthly
place is.
something.
Earth. Yeah.
yeah.
That's the mining museum. So that was pretty cool
And
too.
apparently, you can go down into the mine.
Yeah.
It was closed when we went there, but
Yeah, apparently you can only go in a mine at night, which
Really?
I found peculiar.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Wouldn't it always be night? You're underground. Like there's no
irrelevant.
sun down there. It's relevant.
it's a
like
moot
yeah,
point.
it feels that way. Oh, and then there was the pumpkins that were all
Yeah.
getting ready for Halloween season.
And there was a
Real pumpkins,
Big
at least we think.
Yet to be determined.
oh my.
yeah. I mean, it was a great time. Like a lot of fun, and it's coming to an end. A little sad, but
Yeah.
We got the big drive home ahead of us.
Yeah,
and,
3-hour drive.
We all came
Oh.
up separately.
Oh,
'cause
4
so
hours.
so we'll talk about the drive for a second because so Victor and Linda, you guys came up like Friday afternoon. Like I got a text from you saying, "Oh, we've checked into the hotel. I'm still at home working." I'm like, "Oh, that's nice." Tanya and I still have to drop the kids off, and that was like a long process. And so by the time we got on the road, and by the time we got up here, it was like 10 o'clock at night.
you guys are brave to make that drive at night.
Oh
Well,
man.
yeah. So Highway 69 is a little, there's no lights at all.
Yeah.
It's a 2-lane
Anyone
highway
coming up
and-
this way, beware. Like that is, and it's a one-on-one lane. So like you've got head-ons, and it's just like oh shit.
and deer and moose, and we didn't
moose.
see. Luckily, we didn't
And
see
chipmunks.
We saw an accident. Unfortunately, it was
Yeah.
a pretty serious looking accident. But so we were delayed a bit coming up here. But thankfully, no moose. But then the next day, Matt.
Yes, I left because I couldn't come up on Friday, so I got up 5 a.m. Saturday morning and hit the road, and so 3 hours and 45-minute drive or so, and I hit the road, and I did see a moose. So about 45 minutes north of Perry Sound when you're on Highway 69. And I knew that this was a reality of the north. You have to be observant. I'm glad the light was out. And I had lots of lead time. It was pretty spectacular, actually. So I could see up in the distance something moving. I started to slow down. And sure enough, this big, magnificent bull moose steps out onto the road right in front of me.
Did he have the big antlers?
Oh yeah, the bull, the males. Like it was
man.
huge. I couldn't take
so
a picture or
big.
anything.
They are
And he just
massive.
trotted over and like he was probably by the time I was slowing down and he was going, I was probably 20, 30 feet from him and he went by. It was amazing. I'm like that. It brought new life into me that moment in the morning. As
Well,
tired
it was
as I
so
was.
apropos that you're the one who saw the moose, considering
You have a dog named
Yeah.
Moose.
Yes, I saw the real deal. So it was cool. I mean, it's a reality check that this is where we are. This is very much nature at its finest up here, and there's towns that live amongst them. And
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, before we wrap it up, is there anything? I don't want to leave anything on the table, although we have lots of time to talk about it. But if there isn't anything, we'll start with final comments, and we'll start with Victor here on my right.
Yeah, this again, like what I said before, surreal, and I'm now kind of pumped to go and start rewatching a lot of the both Letterkenny and Shoresy episodes that, again, I'm going to enjoy in a completely different way.
Right.
And Linda's going to watch Shoresy with me, so I'm looking forward to that.
We're
as
so
well.
jealous of you, Linda, that you haven't seen Shoresy yet because you've got so much to experience. It's
Well, I'm looking forward to it too, and now I'm going to have a new perspective, like Victor said, and just try to be more aware of the scenery and each set and everything that went into it. Now that I've experienced all of this,
And so, that's the show part of it. But for me, again, hanging out with you guys, Tanya, all the work you put into it, just incredible. And just you guys are awesome. And we're just gonna continue to do this, I guess, and until we're not. And I'm not even thinking about that. So
Linda, what do you have?
I just wanted to thank everybody again for inviting me along and letting me tag along, and to Tanya for all of the
You didn't tag
planning.
along. You played an important role here.
Yeah.
You helped us
Thank you.
document the whole trip. So
And you
we
were
were
part of the podcast this weekend.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience, so I just wanted to thank you guys again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just been phenomenal, and oh my god, it changes it changes a lot. Like, and as you guys are saying, I really want to watch it again. It's like it just makes it so much bigger than what it was before the first round. Before the first round, come on, the first round I was being forced into it. Like,
Yeah, you didn't.
let's face
You
it,
hated what
right?
you were watching. Yeah.
No, I was not
Been
You
no
hate
winks
watched,
since
yeah.
season one.
and listening back to that first comment of we're not going there, and to me now saying let's go get in the
Not
car.
only go, I've got the itinerary. It's in a duotang. Let's go. Yes.
It's just there's no words. I want to thank the patrons. This was a lot to do with them, and we thank you guys for helping us get here, and we hope that you've enjoyed the experience through us of visiting here and seeing what we've seen and listening to our adventures and experiences, and thank you so much to them for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt?
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. Like it almost feels like I don't know. This is like the culmination of everything we've done. Listening back,
Yeah.
it's wild.
Yeah.
I still laugh when we talked about this originally, and now we're fucking here. And sadly, I almost didn't even make it. I mean, I had to do some scheduling changes. I had to get some permission from the home
can
because
you imagine?
wifey's at home with all 3 kids all weekend, so she let me come. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen.
very
Thank
much.
you, Jen. Yes.
And it's
Well,
just
we're sending Matt home a bottle of red wine for you.
Yes,
For your,
yeah.
to thank you.
for allowing me to leave
Yes.
her alone. I've gotten a few messages over the weekend. I've been trying not to ignore them, but they're. But no, this is just it's surreal, and I just the fact that we've come this far, I'm very thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for our patrons, our listeners. The evolution of this show has been completely out of this world. And the fact that we're fucking sitting here, like I'm
know.
looking up and I'm seeing on top of a hockey arena and looking out at a window and I'm seeing others set, like this is the coolest fucking day
It is.
in the longest time I can remember. And I'm so thankful for the Letterkenny crew and Jared and Kara and Craig today for showing us around, and everyone who's been so gracious and giving with their time over the last couple of years through interviews. And it's a community through and through. And yeah, it's just a fantastic world around this show, and very grateful for it all.
Yeah. You know what I really wish? I really wish I had brought like a yogurt for Victor, because just even watching him eat the creme brulee last night.
Oh my God! Yeah,
You got so mad at me.
Was so much fun just to watch your interaction together between Victor and Matt. But like, you know, just want to just like that feel. Come on, just pause here for a second. Just like picture in the back of your mind, like all the episodes that we've seen, and like going crazy, Derry going crazy on the yogurt, and that was at this table.
Them looking out the window for the spelling bee.
The spelling, like Wayne looking out that window. It would have been Wayne looking out that window. You know,
I'll get up and give us the pose
and
on the
doing
chair.
the spelling bee, or like Katie in the back there.
My knees are too bad. I can't stand up real fast. Like
yeah, or like go to the phone, right?
Yeah.
Don't come up the lane.
Yeah.
Like the phone's right there,
Right there.
like right there.
The bathroom where everyone was having the intestinal issues during the Christmas episode is right there. Although it's not a bathroom. If you walk through it, there's no toilet.
Yeah, Squirrely Dan going off on like his rants, sitting right there, or like Katie or Katie coming in half dressed and going up the stairs, and the whole not my forte.
Shep and Kingsley stood right there, right behind you there.
Yeah. It's like we are there.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more real than this.
Like I saw the lazy boy or the recliner in the other room, and I'm like, yeah. So Wayne sat right there.
Yeah.
And the whole Christmas where he was giving out the presents, right? The Christmas tree would have been in the corner there and giving out the presents, and everybody was, you know, off in the carpeted area there. And oh my gosh, like we're here.
Yeah.
We are at that table.
The table? Are we at the
table?
This I think this is the
Sink
table.
Sink it in. Have the moment where it's just like, being in the moment.
This
It's
road has led us
it's
to
so
here,
crazy.
and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I echo what everyone says here, especially the part about the patrons, because this weekend was brought to us by the patrons.
Yeah.
So you guys know we don't do this for money, and we don't make a whole lot of money doing it, and we just barely make enough to pay for hosting fees and stuff like that, and then we put some away. And every once in a while, we had last year, I think we had that keg, keg dinner, and we had fun. And this time around, I'm like, well, what are we going to do, with the patron money? And I offered you guys gift cards or something. And I think it was Victor, it was you who said, let's do something, an experience that we can all enjoy. And you're right. It was a perfect idea. Instead of using that money to buy stuff that, we'll use up and throw away or whatever, this is an experience. Yeah. And this is something we'll never forget.
No.
And we owe it all to the patrons. The patrons help pay for this, for our hotel stay, and for the nice meal we had yesterday with Michelle and stuff. This is all patrons. Some of the new equipment I had to buy. Thank you guys. And we're just going to continue doing this because we love doing it, but hopefully you enjoy watching it.
To give back.
And your support is so humbling.
Yes. For
I will apologize to the patrons on behalf of Matt as he was eating his creme brulee like a Neanderthal.
I feel I don't know. It was accidental, but we always entire weekend we found ourselves sitting beside each other, which just continued to fuel these interactions.
I love observing, and I just sat back and I watched the two of you. I knew Victor was going to have issue because you were creme brulee and you're mixing it up.
Yeah, you were eating it like Derry eating a yogurt.
Yeah, you were mixing it up, and I'm like, oh, Victor's going to catch on to that.
Victor, he taps the top because it's crunchy, and he does a little bit at a time.
Where's the sugar top? He's like, what did you do?
Well, and admittingly, not that one, but and you called me on this yesterday. It's kind of 50-50. Some of it's accidental in what I do. Other half is let's see if I can get a little rise. So I'm stoking the fire when I see opportunity, and it's so worth it.
Well, no, Victor takes opportunity too. The whole having the sip of the champagne and then start coughing. I'm like, what are you doing?
That wasn't planned.
Oh, was
that was authentic.
I thought it was
choking on champagne.
Choking on Jeff.
That
I
may,
totally did not plan that.
that may or may not be planned, but you were right.
Oh,
Victor
my
does
gosh.
do things to get a rise out of people.
Oh,
He
my
won't
God.
admit to it, but it's true.
Oh my!
We poke at each other and it's fun.
And we have a new episode idea came up to us while we were watching some interactions here between Victor and Linda, that we have to have games night at some point of what was the games?
Password.
Password or catchphrase or taboo. One of those, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just been so comical listening to everybody catching what the other person's thinking because they can't come out with it fast enough or can't remember the details. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Lots of
Good,
laughs.
just good laughs.
Lots of laughs.
Yeah, great times. Unfortunately, we can't, we got to bring this to an end, but we're going to continue. Well, we're going to have to tear it all down too, like the mess we just made here. But thank you all for listening. Thank you for the patrons for helping us get here. And I'm going to play us off with a song. Unfortunately, it's just the same song we played off last week because I didn't have time to load a new one. So
Nailed it.
This is Playboys. By the Deadly Snakes. Missing Tanya. And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, we will be joined by our listeners for an Ag Hall social. So join us. But don't forget to give our sponsor, Diabolical Coffee, some love. They are at diabolicalcoffee.com. Right now, you can use a promo code PRODUCESTAND for 20% off any purchase from their site. If you'd like to support the podcast, rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or become a patron. There is a Patreon link on our site or Twitter profile at ProtestantPod. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at ProtestantPod. Thank you for joining us. We are now going back to our boring lives. Anyway, on behalf of Linda, Victor, Matt, Tanya, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.
Hey-o.
All right, we are clear. Let me save the file. Hold on, let me save the file.
Save it to the cloud.
Yeah, TPS. I did have to go to the bathroom before we started recording. So now I'm going to run over. The file is saved, so we are free and clear. Actually, stop recording the Zoom too.